You must overcome the thoughts of the mind by rising up to the higher mind in meditation, by shutting down those thoughts, as Jesus said, take no thought. Then you will be given the hidden manna, or the wisdom which is hidden in the right hemisphere of the brain. The wisdom of the ages is hidden in the right hemisphere of the brain. That's why Jesus said in John 21:6, cast your net to the right side. You know, something interesting. He said, cast your net to the right side and you will find. Now, people say, oh, he was talking about fishing. No, he wasn't. He was saying, cast your net to the right side and you will find it. And you know, there's a way that you can prove he wasn't talking about fishing. The number 9 in mysticism means consciousness, the human mind, consciousness. You know, 666, the sign of the beast, you add 6 plus 6 plus 6 equals 18. 1 plus 8 equals 9. That means the beast is consciousness, your lower consciousness. So that you know that the higher consciousness is salvation, the lower consciousness is the beast. Now, when Jesus says, cast your net to the right side in John 21:6, in John 21:11 it says they collected the fish. Guess how many fish they caught? They counted them, 153. Add them up. 1 plus 5 plus 3 equals 9. So the Bible is telling you in this cosmic code, hey, I'm saying cast your energy to the right hemisphere of the brain and you'll find wisdom. That's the hidden manna. To him that overcomes the thoughts of the lower mind, I will give to eat of the hidden manna. People who come into meditation, lift themselves above the thoughts of the lower mind, will receive understanding from the higher mind, wisdom, direction, enlightenment for their lives, for the lives of their families, for the lives of the universe. That's what this new age is all about. See? When we talk about manna, or we talk about bread, in John 6:51, Jesus Christ would say, I am the living bread. Now, our fundamental friends will say, well, Jesus is saying that he's the bread of life. But that's not what he said. He said, I am is the living bread. The word I am is the name of God. You remember in Exodus, what is it, Exodus 3, when Moses was on the mountain and he asked God, what is your name? God says, I am. And that means that as you take to yourself and understand the I, the am, the existence of that which is God within you, then where Jesus was saying, I am the living bread which came down from heaven. Not that he was, because how do I know? How do I know that Jesus wasn't talking of himself? How do I know that Jesus was not speaking of himself when he said, I am the living bread? Because Jesus Christ said, of my own self I can do nothing. John 5:30. Jesus Christ said on John 5:30, of my own self I can do nothing. So how could he be the living bread? And then Jesus Christ said in John 5:31, if I give a witness of myself, my witness is false. So then how could he be the living bread? He was saying, I am. He wasn't saying, I am the living bread. He's saying, I am. He's identifying that which is the higher mind, the living bread which came down from heaven, and if any man eats this food, he shall live forever. That is the strongest reason why you should begin to get in and do this meditation, practicing the single eye. Because the single eye takes you to that point of the higher realms of the mind, above the carnal mind, okay, where there are no human thoughts, where is the living bread, where if you eat that bread, you live forever. That's what's so very, very important. And it's important to see how in John 6:51, Jesus Christ identifies. Most people in reading the Bible read that wrong because they say, Jesus says, I am the living bread. And so they're saying he's talking about himself. No, he wasn't. All you have to do is come back to John 5:30 and you'll see Jesus Christ says, of my own self I can do nothing. And John 5:31, if I testify of myself, my testimony is not true. And then Jesus, of course, said, hey, the things I do, you can do better than me. So Jesus Christ did not come to show how great he was. He came to show how great you are. It's religion, fundamental religion, which has tried to paint you as a worthless sinner and has put people on the guilt trips and the remorse and the fear and all of this stuff that comes out of trying to control the minds of people.